Disney adults are actually insane. Now, as I said before, I preface this, there's something that you have to like really just take time to think about and say, if you call yourself openly a Disney adult, what does that like really say about my mindset? Like, why am I considering myself an adult that does everything and idolizes Disney? Like, what am I missing to say, like, yes, I'm a Disney adult? Now, I could say I watched Disney growing up and I enjoy Disney content and all these things, but for me to call myself a Disney adult, that's where you start to lose me a little bit. But let's get into the video and see what's happening.
All the children. The Disney parks are now filled with adults getting drunk in bars, eating thousands of calories worth of snacks, TikTokers taking pictures in the women's bathrooms, and worst of all, putting themselves into massive amounts of debt to go to Disney parks. Disney parks are now filled with some of the most cringe individuals to walk the planet, also known as Disney adults. There's countless videos on YouTube which criticize Disney adults for the way they act like children and are really cringe. And while that's interesting to explore, and I'll definitely make another video on the cringe side, I want to look at Disney adults from another perspective. What is the financial cost of being a Disney adult? From over-consumerism, having to buy every single product Disney releases, every single limited edition piece of merch, to the limited edition must-eat snacks to try at every park, and even the
I mean, those turkey legs are pretty good, though. Can't lie, those turkey legs are pretty good.
cost of just getting into the parks. How on earth do these people afford it?
This couple, they spent $21,000
No way.
in 1 month when they make $7,000 a month. They're obsessed with Disney. Lots of Disney adults are. They spent $2,000 on Disney exclusive.
Okay. $21,000 a month. How do you even do that? What are you spending money on in Disney that can lead to $21,000 a month? Like, honestly, I know there's ways to spend $21,000 a month, especially in this economy, but to be able to do that at Disney is a level of, I guess, not impressive because everything is expensive in Disney, but it's a level of like, how are you able to sleep at night knowing that you just spent in a full month $21,000 at Disney World? And you don't even cover a third, you barely cover a third of that. You don't actually, you cover what, a third of it actually for $7,000 a month? Like, how do you, like,
Passes and then went to Disney World, spent a lot of money on that. Then they're
makes
going to
no
Disney
sense.
World 2 times next month and then 1 time in the summer.
That's a lot of money on Disney.
But unlike most lesbians, I think they're going to last forever though because they're on the same page. And usually couples that aren't on the same page about money, that's where they divorce. Them, they're on the same page about wanting to ruin their lives for Disney.
Before we look at the insane costs of Disney, we need to take a step back and understand how the parks themselves got to be so expensive in the first place. 40 years ago, trips to Disney were easy and pretty affordable for the average family. All you'd have to think about was your ticket, a hotel if you wanted to stay for a few days, and whatever food you fancied eating at the park. Going to Disney today, however, is a totally different story. It's a stack of microtransactions that add up, leaving guests broke by the time they leave, checking their bank accounts and being horrified with the amount of
are you going to resell that or is that just going to hop on your shelf? Like, I'm not saying you don't buy things, but dang.
money they've ended up
just
spending.
unloading
A
the
Disney World
clip on
ticket in 1971 cost $3.50, and if inflation were the only factor, it would cost around $27 today. But now, a one-day ticket starts at $189. Making Disney more expensive has been a key strategic goal by the company.
So Disney tripled its profits even based on inflation, just on the ticket alone. Like, that's not crazy. Like, how are you? You see, my main concern with this, right, is that like, okay, they 3x'd their tickets, their ticket price, well, 6x their ticket prices. But even when you went to figure out a trip back in that time, like at most you were spending was, let's say, $100 for food, gas, hotel, and then like 1 or 2 days at Disney. And that's being like generous. And now you're probably spending at least just to, let's say, remove travel expenses, and you're like relatively close to Disney, and you still got the food at Disney plus potential lodging if you stay like more than a day. You're easily spending like $2,000. Because let's say you buy a ticket for you, or if you're doing a family ticket, family is just, I mean, you're cooked with a family. But you buy a ticket for you for $200. Then you get your lodging for the night for another $200. Then you have the drinks and food that you'd be getting, probably another $200. And then I'm assuming if you're going to be buying trinkets and stuff, and the price of those trinkets are like $30 each minimum, you're probably spending another probably like $200. So maybe not 2,000, but that's without any travel and very limited lodging. So $1,000 for a day at Disney, and that's just for yourself.
Conveniently amplified by the term Disney adult growing in popularity around 2015, the trending term instantly became a meme, with people laughing at their own obsession with Disney. From bawling their eyes out from meeting their favourite characters,
Pooh, I've waited 30 years to meet you.
What? 30 years? What are you talking about? 30 years? Like, there's no way that, like, that's like saying you see Santa Claus at the mall and being like, oh my God, Santa! Been 30 years. I've been trying to meet you. I got so much I need to tell you. Why you put me on the naughty list? Like, what? What are we doing?
I love you my whole life.
to their insane collections of toys and Disney merch.
The girls that get it, and the girls that don't.
There was one very important thing that Disney realized that these obsessive adult fans had that the kids do not, and that was money. As the parks expanded and people were willing to spend more, Disney piled on extra charges since 2016, and they didn't seem to be stopping. Dynamic pricing, paid parking, individual Lightning Lane, Fast Pass Plus,
I
paid
forgot
ride.
about all that stuff. Oh, I forgot about parking. What is individual lighting? What the heck is that? Lane per ride? Why would you be paying for per ride? Wait, what? I haven't been to Disney in so long.
Held on extra charges since 2016, and they didn't seem to be stopping.
Wait,
Dynamic pricing, paid parking, individual lightning lane, Fast Pass Plus, paid ride reservations, special event reservations, dining plans, photo pass, all while removing free
Jeez.
services like the free Fast Pass and the free airport transport services. When you take a look at how these services increase the price so dramatically, it's actually pretty scary. Dynamic pricing works by increasing the price when there's more demand for a ticket. School holidays and peak times were at least double the price as usual. The Fast Pass Plus also uses dynamic pricing. So if the park is extremely busy and the rides are popular, the price for the Fast Pass Plus will be too. Dropping $500 for a Fast Pass is genuinely insane, and it's only for one day too.
Whoa, buddy. Oh, pump the brakes. So, in order for me to not even really get to the front of the line, because I'm assuming that if there's that many people, you're probably still going to be waiting at least, let's say, most 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, right? On each ride, you're still waiting. By the time at the end of the day, you're still waiting for about like 4 or 5 hours. Obviously, compared to what you'd be waiting without it, is probably way less significant. But guys, that is insane. $500? You know you can do it $500? I mean, at this point, I mean, this time, maybe not, but like, still, just to get to the front of the line? Nah, dog. Not catching me.
It actually costs more than the ticket itself. But the sad thing is, because the parks are so busy, you pretty much have to buy the fast
Like,
passes.
look at that. Hold on. That line by itself, and like those.
And it's only for one day too. It actually costs more than the ticket itself. But the sad
Like, yo, that thing. And the worst part is, this is like the front. This right here is technically considered the front of the line, because this is gonna go all the way back here, and then there's another loop back here, and there's probably another loop that takes you all the way to the back. And one side is the fast pass, and one side is the, bro. It's literally just saying pay $500 to stand over here, or pay nothing to stand over here. And these people are definitely gonna get on the rides, while these people may get on the ride.
thing is, because the parks are so busy, you pretty much have to buy the fast passes unless you only want to go on 3 or 4 rides and wait in queues for hours. From an English perspective, this concept is pretty insane. Like, yeah, we do have fast passes at UK theme parks, but you can get them for like £10 at parks like Thorpe Park and Alton Towers. And I get they might not be as busy as Disney World, but is it really worth the £500 difference? And I think it's worth mentioning that it's actually optional to have fast passes at theme parks. Several European parks outright refuse to use them because from a moral perspective, they don't believe that you should be able to skip a queue because you're richer than some other person, or more willing to go into debt to get them. 2 European theme parks, Bellewaerde and Efteling, say that they don't offer fast passes because we don't wish to give anyone preferential treatment. To be honest, it is a complete money grab by Disney, so they can get more guests into the park and have a payable option to skip the queues. And because the queues are so long, buying a fast pass is just as important as buying a ticket now. It's basically unavoidable if you want to spend more time on the rides and wait in the queues. All of these additional costs slowly add up, forcing guests to spend more without even realizing it, adding to their Disney debt. Even though the list of additional charges that Disney's added over the past 10 years are absolutely insane, there's something else that Disney has incorporated that changed the game forever. For over 40 years, you couldn't have alcohol at a lot of Disney's parks, with a few exceptions of course. But flash forward to now, and alcohol is one of the big reasons Disney adults come to the parks. Since this shift, it's clear Disney now caters to their adult fans, offering an absolutely insane variety of alcoholic drinks available in all of the parks. But it's not just a few cocktails.
Don't they have the trend of the Disney around the world, where you drink at all the countries that are in Disney, and you can try all their alcoholic beverages to see, if you can survive the Disney run around the world, like that is crazy. That is crazy. I mean, it's smart though. I mean, you're going to be targeting the people with the money. Now, the real question is, okay, so you have those that are going to Disney World and they're adults. Probably most of them are either single adults going to Disney World, and even if they are couples, they are probably not with children. So you completely change the model of the amusement park, and this is why they're able to leverage so much money out of it. Because when you're going to Disney and you're going on your own, you can just reap the repercussions on your own in terms of the funds that you spend as well as the indulgence that you do. However, if you're going with children, you can't go as often because it's more people that you have to pay for, and you're probably not going to be able to indulge in the same way that you would if you were by yourself. So the fact that society has encouraged, individuals to potentially not have children, and we can see that across global and especially national um, records, that the population has begun to decline. So if it's just more and more adults with less and less children going to Disney World, they're going to focus on um, the adults that can spend the money because they're by themselves and they have the money to spend. When you go to a Disney with a kid, you gotta, buy their churro, buy their little toy that they want, you know, all their food, all the other foods and drinks, plus their ability to actually get on the rides. And then, if you're talking about actually getting on a sufficient number of rides, that fast pass is going to become very important. So this just becomes insane.
Here and there, and they've even developed a famous drinking game in Epcot known as Drinking Around the World, where guests spend up to
Right.
6 hours on a bar crawl through 8 themed countries, each with a cocktail inspired by the place they're in.
Nothing can stop us now. I'll tell you
Yep.
how.
I
We're
know
gonna
many of
make
you have
it
seen this
happen.
already.
Let's take a ride and spend the day in the
Why are you writing on your
countryside.
arm,
The
though?
cats are here to stay. We'll get away and have the perfect picnic.
Aside from the
Wait.
awful
Was
audio,
that
you
the
get the point here.
characters? I was
Disney
like,
is
what is
catering more
happening?
towards Disney adults, who have a lot more money to spend than the children. And as a quick side note, I really hope that tattoo was fake because that is extremely embarrassing. But not only is this drinking game at Epcot great for getting people to spend over $200 on drinks alone if they complete the challenge, but selling alcoholic drinks is much more lucrative than sodas alone. A
Oh yeah, of
Coke or a
course.
juice for a child probably costs around $4, but a cocktail is closer to $20. The markup on these drinks is easy because the margins are so high. It definitely doesn't cost $20 to make a cocktail, but guests will happily pay for it because it's Disney
They're at
themed.
Disney.
Serving
Yep.
alcohol also changes who comes to Disney and why. Instead of it for being for kids' birthdays or special occasions for kids, it's now a place for adult-only holidays and stag or hen do's, or bachelor parties I think to my American subscribers. There's even been entire Reddit threads talking about the alcohol consumption in Disney, with one person saying, it went from being a family-friendly experience to being a mob of drunk, dehydrated, aggressive who behave worse than hungry children. Alcohol also encourages guests to stay longer, spending more time in the bars and restaurants.
Now that I'm thinking about it too, right? If you go to Disney and someone's drunk on a ride, all that spinning and stuff. I mean, I know Disney's rides aren't too crazy, but there's definitely enough rides to make you even more nauseous while drunk. And then you have to stand in line for like an hour or two in order to get on the ride. That's a little crazy. That sounds like a bad combination all the way around. Just drunk, especially dehydrated, because you're not. These people are probably not buying water. The water's probably $4 by itself, and you're like, man, I'm spending $4. I could just get another drink. And that's when you go down the rabbit hole, and then you gotta buy like a $20 turkey leg, and then you gotta buy, some fries and actual food. Like it just no. That's just a whole terrible combination.
Conveniently buy more food. I don't know about you, but when I've had a drink, I get absolutely starving. And it seems like Disney knows this too. And what better way to take advantage of all those slightly buzzed or just straight up drunk guests than the largest selection of snacks in the world, littered across almost every path in the park. At Disney,
But they're
trying the
not drinking
snacks are
water,
just
though.
as important as going on the rides and meeting the characters. The snacks are also ridiculously expensive, often between $10 to $20 for one thing. And the most ridiculous thing
See?
that I found was literally a stick with one piece of bacon on it for $10.
Who's calling that?
No, 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 no,
Who's
no,
calling
no,
that
no,
shit?
no. No way. A stick of bacon? You can get a bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll with a bev. Actually, with a bev. I don't know if you can get the chips and stuff anymore. The bacon, egg, and cheese has got a little expensive now, but for that same stick of bacon. What? That doesn't even make any sense. Why would you get that?
Who's calling that shit?
The snacks are already expensive, but slap a Mickey shape on there and you instantly pay more for just a shape.
Some basic theme park snacks that happen to be Mickey shaped and then cost $5 million. You'll spend almost $8 on a Mickey pretzel that is just okay, so I recommend instead spending that money on the Pepper Jack pretzel at Cheshire Cafe. It's a warm pretzel stuffed with gooey pepper jack cheese, and it's just way more worth it in my opinion. 2, Mickey bars are obviously iconic, but they're $6 for a basic chocolate ice cream bar. So instead, you can get a fresh single scoop of ice cream at Plaza Ice Cream Parlor with Mickey ears for $4.99.
But it's not just
That's
one
not
or two
terrible,
snacks
but
that
that's
guests
one
are having in the
scoop, though.
parks, as they're often spending over $50 on just snacks alone, and not even considering the main meals that they'll be having throughout the day.
This is a work of art. 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 But this is a work
At
of
least
art.
65
Couples
bucks.
going to the parks together will often be spending over $100 every day just on snacks. This is just simply too much to try. Disney creates FOMO over snacks, calling them must try to create scarcity, and they often change seasonally. Once
They
they're
don't
gone,
even look
they're
that
gone, and they
good,
don't come back.
though.
So if
They're
guests
like
are there, they feel like they need to try it
regular
all there and then. They're
snacks.
obviously all themed too, so Disney adults need to try them because the food is from their favorite shows. Who cares if they can't afford it? They can just use the credit cards to buy them. As we're talking about Disney adults, it wouldn't feel right to not mention the plus-size park hoppers, and they're just as popular for their food recommendations as they are for their controversial "if I fit, I sit" videos, which I have covered before on the channel.
Hey everyone, we're Plus Size Park Hoppers, and this is everything we ate in a day as plus size best friends at Disney's Magic Kingdom. We started our day by having lunch at the Plaza restaurant on Main Street. We find that the food tastes better than any of the quick service options available at Magic Kingdom, and it's pretty affordable.
Sweetheart. That's fries with green onions, maybe some mayonnaise or sour cream, cheese, and maybe some bacon or something. That's the best food that you found?
Too. Katie started off with the Plaza loaded fries, which can be made gluten-free. These come with melted cheddar, bacon, green onion, and spicy sour cream. Ashley
Trust me, guys. Listen. That weight right there was a little fat of me. I can't lie. And trust me, I did not watch this. And that was a little crazy. But how is that the best eats, though? And those loaded fries look weak.
and I both got the triple-decker turkey club sandwich. This sandwich is really good, and it's our go-to every time we go. We also thought that the portion was pretty big for the price. Katie got the Chipotle barbecue pork sandwich with a gluten-free bun. And for dessert, she had a strawberry milkshake. Later on that day, Katie got the Aurora cone, but without a cone to make it gluten-free from Storybook Treats. And Ashley and I split the candied bacon skewer from Westward Ho. This was the perfect combination of salty and sweet, and also, who doesn't love a snack on a stick? Before we left the park, we were thirsty for ice cream, so Katie headed over to Aloha Isle and got the coconut pineapple Dole Whip. Then Ashley and I headed over to the Plaza Ice Cream Parlor. We each got the All-American Sundae, which is one of our favorite sweet treats in Magic Kingdom. If you're a fan of chocolate and peanut butter, then this is the ice cream for you. When we got back to Saratoga Springs, we headed to the Artist Palette for dinner. Ashley and I both got the shrimp with green beans and mashed potatoes, which was pretty good for a quick service dinner. Katie got the chicken and rice bowl, but we accidentally forgot to record it. And then we ended our night in the hot tub.
Focusing just on what Katie eats, because she is one of the biggest people there, and I'm not trying to bully her, but she eats nearly 5,000 calories worth of food and snacks at the park in a single day. Not even
Katie had like 3 things of ice cream. Like, listen, I'm not even gonna get into that because that is just crazy. So no wonder, like, a lot of these, you just got people indulging. Just like, at this point, it has to be a point of just greed. Like, there's no way that you're eating that much in one day and then returning back to the park continuously to spend those prices for items that are cheaper outside of the park. Just because it's Mickey Mouse themed? Like, come on, guys. What, like. Oh my gosh.
even including what you'll have been eating before or after the video. This food came to over $50 as well, which is just so expensive for one day, especially with the majority of it being from snacks. Now I totally agree, when you're at Disney, you should eat whatever you want, because it's a treat and you probably won't go again for a few years. I mean, even I did a 10k calorie challenge and I won't be doing one again anytime soon, but the plus size park hoppers seem to be going to a park every week. This isn't cheap, nor is it healthy. Now the plus size park hoppers do have a social media presence, so they might be able to afford this, but normal Disney adults are doing this too. They're going to Disney way more than they can afford and eating way more than they can afford to. They're so consumed by Disney that they totally let themselves go wild and have no boundaries when it comes to indulging and consuming whatever they want, whether it's food, merchandise, or going to the parks multiple times a year. And for all of these reasons that we've looked at, it's no wonder why so many people have gone into debt just to be able to go to Disney.
Guys, I'm gonna let you continue to watch that video. Check it out. It's definitely a good one. But yeah, this indulgence is crazy. Like, I don't even understand how you think that going there, like, you can get so much more at other places, that going to Disney World and spending that kind of money on themed items that looked pretty basic to me. Like, it did not look like anything that was outstanding that you couldn't find at, let's say, a fast food restaurant, or even at like a Chili's or those medium restaurants where, you know, you'll get your food pretty fast. It's relatively good quality eats for a deal. Like, that's what it looked like. A lot of that food just looked like stuff that you can get at those mid-size, you know, franchise restaurants that, you know, great food, great, you know, decent quality food for a good deal, and you're spending what, twice as much on just basic things that you can get a whole meal for the same price. Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all, and you really start to lose me when it comes to this. And the indulgence is just getting to a point where it's just like, wow, how? But, you know, to stick on Disney and just a lot of these companies that are trying to persuade us to spend more money and to really get us to, like, just completely just blow our bank accounts, and don't provide the same qualities and things that they used to. in order to make you actually want to pay for the services that they're providing